So in this video, we'll discuss one of the very important data structure as far as data science is concerned, right? So that is lists. Lists is one of the most widely used data structure. So now what is list? List is a collection of data elements. So it is a sequence data structure. It is a sequence data structure. So this is one of the sequence data structure. So when So lists are collection of items. So the items may be strings, integers, or even other lists. That means the list is contained in these two square brackets. So opening square bracket, closing square. So here we have items A, B, C, D, right? So these items here may be integers, characters, strings. Even this list may contain other lists, right? So this list may be inside this list, right? So even this lists can contain the hybrid data. All right, hybrid data means some characters, some integers, some floating point numbers, right? So that is absolutely possible in Python, right? The list may contain the heterogeneous data, right? So each item in the list has an assigned index value, right? So this list has indices. That means this location is called as location 0, right? Location 1, this is location 1, this is location 2, this is location 3. So these 0, 1, 2, 3, they are called as indices, right? So that's why every location has an assigned index value, right? Every item in the list has an assigned index value. So this A's index value is 0, B's index is 1, right? So each item in the list is separated by the comma. You see, this items in the list are separated by comma. So lists are mutable, which means they can be changed. So I can change this A to some other character, let's say Y, right? I can change this B to some other character, or even I may put other number there, right? So for example 10. Even I can add the numbers at the end of the list in between the elements of the lists, right? I can add the new items in the list. I can delete items from the list. I can modify the already existing items in the list. So that's why lists are a mutable data structure. So let's see how to create list. So, so this is how we create an empty list. Empty list, right? So this is name of the list, and what we are assigning to this variable. This is a variable. To that variable we are assigning empty list. These two square brackets means empty list. Now this is lst is the name of the list, and to this list we are assigning this list, right, containing 1, 2, 3, 4 strings. There are 4 strings here: the first string, second string, third and fourth string. So this is another list to which we are assigning integers. See, when we are having strings as the item, so we are putting them in the quotes, right? So this one is inside the quotes, 2 is also inside the quotes. So single quotes or double quotes are okay. That means we can put these in double quotes also, right? That is also perfectly fine. But strings must be put inside the quotes, right? Numbers need not be put inside the quotes, you see. But one thing is must, you should put the comma between two items of the list, whether they are strings or numbers, right? So we have comma here, we have comma here also. And this is list number, next list, name of the list is lst3. You see, this list is containing sublists, right? So this is list in itself. This is one more list, right? So this bigger list is called a list of lists, right? Then we have next list, which is now containing the heterogeneous data. That means data of different types, right? One is an integer. This Ramu is a string. You see, this Ramu is put in the single quotes, right? Whenever we have string, it should be put inside the quotes. 24, right, is an integer again. 1.24, 1.24 is the floating point number, right? So if we print this, we'll get, if we print this list 4, we'll get this. How to print list? Simply say print and name of the list, for example lst. If I do that, this complete list will be printed, right? So if you want to print the list, just use print function. To that print function, pass the name of the list, right? Now if you want to print but now you see this is, let me clear it. So this is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, 3. How do I access the particular item in a list? So in order to access the particular item in a list, I should use the index, right? For example, if I want to access the item on location number 2 or index number 2, what should I do? I should say lst 2. So this gives me access, or this gives me the item on index 2, right? So that is, what is this index 2? This is index 2, that this is 3. So this will give me 3. If I say print lst2, so this will print this 3. lst2 is 3. Okay? Similarly, lst3 is 4. Now lst, now this is, you see, this is a list of lists. This is a list of lists, right? So here if I say list lst3 of 0, if I say lst3 of 0 in this particular case, right? So this is 0th location, this is 0th location, right? This is location, let me clear it again. So this is location number 0, this is location number 1. Location number 0 itself is a list, right? Location 0 contains a list, right? So that means inside this list, again, this is location number 0, this is location number 1. Inside this list, this is location 0, this is 1, right? So how will I access this, right? The question is, if I say lst of 3 lst3 of 0, right? So what will I get? I'll get 1 2. This will give me 1 2, 1 comma 2, right? But if I want to access 1, that where is 1? 1 is on 0th location inside the 0th list. So this 0 0. So what will I say? lst of 3 0 0. So this will give me access to this one, right? So this one, in fact, this is also called a two-dimensional list, or also matrix, right? So we'll discuss matrix in detail later. For now, this is a list of lists, and if you want to access the items inside a list of list, so we'll have to use two square brackets. Okay, so let's move on. So list length, how will I compute the length of the list? So if you have this list here, right? So how many items are there inside this list? So there are 1 2 3 4 items. So the length of this list is 4. So there is a function called as length. To that function, just pass this list, right? Length of list. So it will return you the length of the list. So in this case, this is 4. Okay. Now there is a function called as list append, right? And insert in a list, right? So appending means putting at the end. Appending to anything means putting at the end. So if you have this list, right? This is the list. So if you want to put something or add something at the end, so that we can use append function. We can call this append function on this list object, right? So this lst is a variable. It's an object, in fact. So on that object, we'll call this append function. So list dot append. So name of the list dot append, right? And what you want to append, that you pass in this bracket. So I want to append 5. So this 5 will be added at the end, right? So then if I print list, I'll get this, right? So let me execute this. You see, so we get this list. Right? So this 5, which is not part of this list, right? 5 is not part of this, but we appended that. Appending means putting at the end, attaching at the end, right? So insert, if you want to insert, if you don't want to put at the end, if you want to put or inserts in between, right? Or on some other location in the list, right? So you can use this insert function, right? So what is the syntax for that? lst, name of the list, dot insert, right? Dot insert, and this is the location, right? So so here if we have this, let me take an example straight away. So name of the list and then insert function, and 2 comma 3, what will it do? It will add element y at location x, right? So this insert, right? So this insert will add this element y on location x, element y on location x. So this first parameter is a location on which you want to add, and this is what you want to add, right? So here we have this list, right? And list dot insert 2, this is the location, right? So this is location 0, this is location 1, this is location 2, and what you want to add? 3. That means this 3 will be added on location 2, right? So on location 2 we have 4, so this 4 will be shifted to right. So in fact the list will now contain 3 in between 2 and 4, right? So you see this is the list. So now is at this list, in this list, this is location 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this 3 got added on location 2 because of this insert. 3 got inserted, right? So that is insert function in on list, right? Let's see remove function, right? If there is insert, there is a remove also. So again we have list dot remove, list dot remove. So that this X is the element or item which you want to remove. So you have this list, right? So list dot remove, what you want to remove? 2. So this 2 will be removed. So now though we have two 2's here, the first occurrence of 2 will be removed, right? We have two 2's here, this one and this one. The first occurrence of 2 will be removed, right? So this will be removed in fact. So what if I remove this, by using this statement we will have 1 3 4 2, right? So this list, this is the remaining list. So that is the remove function. Then there is something called as extend, right? Now append was adding, right? Append was adding at the end of the list. So then what is the use of extend? So let me, okay, so you see this is a list, right? And these are the items in the list. So this is another list, list 2, right? Can I append this list at the end of this list? Yes, I can do that, right? I simply need to say this dot append and this list, right? So this lst2 will be appended at the end of lst1, lst, right? So list lst dot append lst2, you see, and then if we print lst, you will get this output. So this 5 6 was lst2, so this is appended at the end of this list, and this is appended as a list, this 5 6, this is appended as a list, you can see here, right? Appended as a list. So append will simply attach or add the list at the end as a list, Now sometimes what do we want to add this we want to merge this with this, right? That means we want to append these contents at the end, but not as a list, but these are these as the members of this list, right? That means we want this kind of output rather than having this kind of output. We don't want this bracket, right? We don't want these brackets. We want to have this 5 6 as the members, right? So how to do that? So to do that, there is a function called as extend, right? So we have this list, right? And we have another list. Now if rather than saying append, if I say extend, right? Extend, same statement, only thing we have extend here we had append, right? Now you can see the difference, right? Difference in the output. So we had these 4 elements, so this is appended at the end, but not as a list, but these members will be mixed with these members at the end, right? So this 5 6 will be members. Now if you look, the one more difference is this is location 0, location 1, location 2, location 3, and this is location 4. Now here this is location 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? 5. So that means these 5 and 6 are separate elements, whereas this one list is one element of this list, right? So that is the difference between append and extend. Okay, let's move on. List delete. So can we delete? What is the use of? There is a function called as delete. Let's see the use of this delete, right? So this delete remove item based on index position, right? For example, see we have this list. Let's see, we'll see the use of delete. So we have this list. This list contains 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Numbers, so these elements are on these indices, right? If I say delete, del is a function, list 1, del list 1. So what will be deleted? The element on position 1, right? So that is this 2, right? So, and if we print the list after that, we'll get this list, right? So we deleted this, right? So this delete removes an item based on index position. Delete removes an item based on index position. We saw remove function that was removing item based on the contents, right? Based on the item face value or item value, right? So here this delete can be used to remove the element from the list based on the index position, right? So delete list 1. So this says list 1 is this, right? This one is this position, one is this position, right? So list 1 is this, so this delete will remove this. Now we can use pop also, right? So list dot pop 1, right? Pop and delete are doing the same task, right? So but the difference is pop returns the deleted value. Pop returns you the deleted value, right? So this list dot pop 1 will remove an item from location 1, and that will return you the item. You can store that item in this A, right? So print A will get this, right? Now you see, let's try to understand this. So first delete will delete this, and if we print the list, we'll get this list. Right? Now in this list, this is location 0, this is location 1, this is location 2, this is 3. Right? Now if you do pop, right, on this same list, this is the same list, right? LST list dot pop 1. Again, we'll be removing an item on location 1, that is this, right? Pop will also remove an item from the location, said location, right? But pop will return you this item, right? So pop will return you this 3. You will assign that 3 to this A. We are assigning that 3 to A, and if we print A, we'll get this 3, right? And then if we print the list, this is the list because we have removed this, right? So that is the use of pop and delete. So let's move on and see other. So list related keywords in Python. So what are the different keywords which are related to list in Python? So this is list, right? So there is a keyword called as in, right? So in is used to test if an item is in the list. So in is used to test if an item is inside the list. So we have this list, let's say we have this list. So if 2 in list, we are checking here, is 2 inside the list, right? Yes, 2 is there inside list. That means this will return true, this will return true, right? And then if this is true, we'll print the data, right? We'll print this this simple message called as data. Okay? Now we'll check if 6 not in list, right? 6 is also not in list, 6 is not in list, so this will also return true. So we'll print science in this case, right? So data science, right? So in is used to check whether the item is inside the list or not. Not in is again one more keyword. We are just putting not before in. Not in will be true if this item is not inside this list, right? Okay.